Hey guys, just quickly before we get into today's rebuild, I'd like to let you know that I've decided to do an Instagram giveaway. I'm going to be giving away an Elgato HD 60 as a thank you for 150,000 subscribers and an apologies for the delay on the forest green rebuild. So if you want to enter, all you have to do is follow me on Instagram. I'll then randomly draw one of my followers on February the 10th and DM you privately. Thanks, and let's get into the video. So the other day, my good friend and fellow YouTuber RBT shot me a private message on Twitter where he suggested that I attempt to rebuild the worst team in FIFA, a 0 overall team. My response to that was, why would I want to rebuild Sunderland?
This is great banter. It really is.
Nah, but now I tried to think outside the box. I wanted to spice things up a little and do something unique with this idea. So what I have done, I have made every single player on the Manchester City roster possess stats of 1, thus creating the worst possible team. I will be putting the blue half of Manchester down into the championship, where we will be attempting to resurrect Pep Guardiola's side. I'm also going to change the end goal of this video. Instead of aiming to win the Champions League title like on one of our traditional rebuilds, we will attempt to replicate what is likely to happen this season for City, and that is to win the Premier League title. So without further ado, let's rebuild the worst team in FIFA history. But if you guys do go on to enjoy today's rebuild, trying something else a little bit different, make sure you leave a like on the video, and also make sure you bloody scorpion kick that subscribe button down below if you are new around here. So this is what the Man City side looks like now. For some weird reason, I'll show you. Why is his composure 84? That was not a stat I could... Okay, that makes a lot of sense. It wouldn't let me change the composure. That's not a stat I could alter. So look at that, Sane is 78 composure, 1 overall. But besides that, the team is virtually 1 in every single stat, which is going to be quite interesting. Even the goalkeepers. I don't know why I wasn't able to change that composure stat, but same thing applies. Such a crap team. We're going to have to overhaul the entire side this season if we want to survive. And I mean, it's not like we're going to be able to... Look at their ages. Oh my god, why are their ages 56, 57, 56, 57, 57? I didn't change that. But we're not going to be able to even sell these players on if we want to make some money, because look, they're only worth £1,000 each. Imagine a world where Kevin De Bruyne is only 4 overall. What a time to be alive. So the most important position to cover first is the goalkeeper. Yeah, I know from my experience playing FIFA, you need a good goalkeeper if you want to get results. So we've gone ahead and signed Paul Lopez from Espanyol for £19 million. Another quality signing here as we pick up our first new midfielder. Willian Cyprian is signing from Nice for £17.5 million. And a striker joins our ranks here, bringing in a lot of young quality talent for the future. Antonio Sanabria is going to join us from Real Betis for £21.1 million. A big time signing here, someone that I was really desperate to sign in this rebuild. Christian Pulisic is at the club now. The American joins us from Borussia Dortmund for £19.5 million. Signings galore here. Another quality pickup, another Bundesliga pickup. Nadim Amiri coming from Hoffenheim for £18.2 million. Welcome to Manchester City, mate. So with the signing of Amiri, that means we have 5 of our starting 11 spots sorted out. We need to make sure we at least get the majority of the starting 11 sorted out. Time to make some defensive signings, hopefully. Really want to get into the Premier League this season and continue to fill up the squad. I doubt we're going to get any offers for any of our players. Might have to release them if the squad gets too big, but we'll play it by ear. I mean, this is a video that I've never done anything like it before, so hopefully you guys enjoy it. Hopefully it goes well, but it's all an experiment for me. Are we Manchester City or Borussia Dortmund? We've signed another Dortmund player for our midfield, Julian Weigl, joining us here at Man City, just about rounding out our 3 midfield positions. We have secured our first defensive signing as Hector Bellerin joins us here at Man City. The Spaniard makes the drop down to the Championship. Arsenal accept a £21.6 million offer. So after that last signing, our squad is officially full. So I'm just going to release a few players here. A few of all, I guess all the original Man City players are no-name players, but fill up a little bit or open up a little bit of squad space. So I'm going to go for the lesser known players. What? We can only release 2. Oh no, oh dear, this is bad. 2 centre-back signings here, probably our 2 final signings for this opening window unless we get a transfer offer for other players because our squad is officially now full. But Alessio Romagnoli joining from AC Milan for 19.6 million and Germán Conti, the Argentine centre-back, joining from Cologne, I believe that is, for 16.9 million. So that concludes a very busy opening window in charge of Man City. Not even worth going through that list. I'll go across to the squad. Of course, Sanabria has suffered a long-term injury, but we signed Sanabria, Pulisic, Amiri, Weigl, Cyprian, Romagnoli, Conti, Bellerin, and Paul Lopez. So not the full squad. Sane and Delph still in there, but fingers crossed we're in an alright position come January. Hopefully we can sell or release a few more players, or hopefully a lot of players retire at the end of the season. But anyways, let's get to the halfway point. Here we are halfway through the championship season. We are sitting in 10th position, but we're only 2 points out of the playoff zone, so definitely got high expectations for the second half of the season, as long as we can bring in some talent. If we can sign players, then I definitely think we're a shoo-in for promotion. If we can't, I think we're destined for a second season in the championship. But currently, Bristol and Reading are in the top 2 spots, but the table is so close at this point that could change. That could change significantly. The drop zone, Sheffield United, Bolton and Burton Albion all down there. Well, no real surprise, we have done no business this window. I tried to release players, but it's stupid, you can only release 2 a season, so fortunately, there's a few players running out of contract at the end of season and a few retiring, so that should open up a few more spots, but it's definitely thrown a spanner in the works that I wasn't expecting and is going to make this rebuild a lot more interesting, so let's suss it out, let's get to the end of the first season. So clearly not the best second half of the season, although we were a lot closer to the top 6 than the bottom 3. We ultimately finished this first season in charge of Man City in 14th position, 66 points. Not the greatest, not the worst. Next season I think we're a shoo-in to absolutely dominate the league as long as we can bring in some quality talent, which I'm pretty confident we will be able to, but Aston Villa and Ipswich go up in the automatic spots. I didn't let you guys know earlier, but I swapped us out with Wolverhampton, so they are already in the Premier League because they're top of the championship in real life at the time of recording, but Millwall, Burton, Albion and Bolton all got relegated. Manchester United did go on to win the FA Cup. We were nowhere to be seen. And Man United also won the Carabao Cup. They eliminated us in the round of 16. Leeds are the 3rd team to go up to the Premier League. Good to see they don't have that crap badge they just released, but they did take down Middlesbrough 2-0 in the final. Atletico Madrid won the Champions League, and Borussia Dortmund won the Europa League. That is the end of season number 1 with Manchester City in this 0 overall rebuild, so let's see if we can get back into the Premier League in season number 2. Season number 2 begins on a very strong note. Not only have we brought in a new left back in Alex Telles, he comes from Porto for 30 million. We have signed probably the best ever player to play in the 2nd division of England in their peak. I mean, like, there's been good players play during their young days, but in their peak, we have signed Lorenzo Insigne, £70 million, plus Garcia, Manu Garcia, one of our loaned players from last year. Welcome to Manchester City, Lorenzo Insigne. And I wanted to show you guys this. So a lot of our players that we had in the club that were out on loan have come back now, but I've made sure that I've transfer listed them all to make it more realistic. I don't want to have you guys thinking I'm cheating the real rebuild or anything. It had to be a squad of 0 rated or 1 rated players, and these players come in and it doesn't make things fair, so I've transfer listed all of them. Hopefully we can get some offers in for them. 2 player departures here, 2 of the loaned players that have come back. So Thierry Ambrose off to Leeds for 4.4 million and Pablo Maffeo off to Burnley for 10.8 million. And a decent player departure here, Patrick Roberts off to Swansea for 14.1 million. And we've managed to upgrade our centre-back position again. Conte's going to head to the bench, and now we're going to sign Michael Keane from Everton. £28 million plus denier. Welcome to Manchester City, Michael Keane. Joe Hart is the latest name to depart the Etihad. The Man City legend is off to Everton for 5.7 million. And another player departure here on deadline day. Crystal Palace have secured the signature of Olarenwaju Coyote. I have just absolutely butchered your name, mate, but don't have too much experience with Nigerian names. Regardless, he is off to Selhurst Park for 7 million. And Angus Gunn leaves the club off to Nottingham Forest for 3.6 million. So many transfers occurring here on deadline day. Alex Garcia off to Derby County. So definitely a contrasting transfer window to how we began last season. Only brought in 3 players this year, although 3 pretty big name players. And we have sold an array of players. So we've brought in Tejas, Insigne and Keane, sold Maffeo, Ambrose, Roberts, Hart and Coyote. So our squad is looking really good. I mean, this would have to be one of the best squads the Championship have ever assembled. Very excited to see how we go. I will check in with you guys at the halfway point. So here we are halfway through the Championship season. No surprise, we are top of the table. Surprisingly though, Watford are neck and neck with us. I mean, I don't think Watford would have 88 rated players in their squad, but fair play to them. So as long as we get promoted this season, I am very happy. Looking at the other sides, Bournemouth, Reading, Huddersfield and Brentford all in the top 6. And at the other end of the table, Bristol City, Portsmouth and Barnsley all in the drop zone. And our first player departure of this January transfer window as Douglas Luiz makes the move to Leicester City for £12.8 million. And another one of our former loaned out players is departing the club. Angelino off to Reading for 4.1 million. Bersan Kalina is the next player to leave the club. He is off to Crystal Palace here for 5.9 million. We're going to continue upgrading our starting 11 here. We're going to be signing Yuri Tielemans from Monaco for £40 million on the dot. A great pickup. Welcome to Man City, Yuri Tielemans. Only one player in this window, but overall it was an awesome transfer window. Tielemans in, Douglas Luiz, Angelino and Selena out. This is what our starting lineup looks like. Surely we have to get automatic promotion to the Premier League. But anyways, we will find that out in just a second as we simulate to the end of Season 2. Get in there, lads. We have been promoted to the Premier League with an astonishing 106 points at the top of the Championship table. It is going to be us and Watford getting the automatic promotion spots, with Bournemouth, Hull, Middlesbrough and Huddersfield fighting it out for the remaining spots. Heading to the other end of the spectrum, Wigan Athletic, Portsmouth and Barnsley all getting relegated. Manchester United did go on to win the FA Cup. West Brom win the Carabao Cup. Bournemouth join us in the Premier League. Bayern Munich win the Champions League. And Everton win the Europa League. So that is the conclusion of our second season in charge of Manchester City. We now are back in the Premier League and in with a chance of completing the challenge from virtually every season on now. So let's get into that. We are going to begin season number 3 by improving our goalkeeper stocks ter Stegen is going to join us here at Manchester City from Barcelona for £64 million, turning us into a top quality side now. Welcome to Manchester City, ter Stegen. Since we've made the signing of ter Stegen, we have sold our now backup goalkeeper, or now not even our goalkeeper, Pau Lopez, to Barcelona. He is making the move to the Camp Nou for £31.9 million. Marco Verratti is going to join us here. We have signed the Italian midfielder from PSG for £77.5 million. Really helped that he had less than 12 months on his contract. So, welcome to Manchester City, Marco Verratti. A very good start to life in the Premier League. Our transfer window has consisted of ter Stegen and Verratti coming in, Lopez leaving. Let's see what sort of a position we're in halfway through the season. We could either be battling relegation or in with a chance of winning the league this season. So here we are on the 1st of January, just about halfway through the season, and we're honestly in with a good shot of completing the challenge this season. Only 3 points behind top of the table Tottenham. Chelsea 2 points ahead of us, and then we're tied on 33 points with Swansea. So here's to hoping we can turn a couple of those draws into wins and potentially complete the rebuild today, or this season should I say. And I mean, doing this rebuild has been a little bit of an experiment for me, trying out some new things, so hopefully you guys are enjoying it and hopefully you like the end goal. But anyways, let's get into the January transfer window and see if we can further improve our squad, although I don't think we'll be able to, considering we've only got about £180,000 in budget. Well, we did exactly what I expected. No business at all. This is, wait, did I just see Wilfried Zaha? Zaha has gone back to Manchester United. I guess he's not going to have the chance to bang David Moyes' daughter now, but regardless, back on track. This is what our lineup looks like. 91 rated Verratti. Hopefully players continue to grow. Hopefully we can have a shot at completing the rebuild today. We have missed out on completing the challenge by 4 points. So close to winning it on our opening attempt. Chelsea finished 4 points ahead of us. I think we might have almost had an undefeated second half of the season, but anyways, we're going to have to go into a 4th season here, and hopefully with a few more improvements we should be able to win it next season. Fingers crossed. 3 teams being relegated are Watford, Leicester City and Leeds United. We did manage to make it to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, where we lost to the eventual runners-up in Swansea, and again eliminated in the quarterfinals, this time for the Carabao Cup, by the eventual winners, Tottenham. Spurs did go on to win an All-English Champions League final. We will be competing in the tournament next season, so should be quite interesting to see how we go. And Bayer Leverkusen did go on to win the Europa League over AC Milan. So we're going to have a quick look at our squad report at the end of season number 3 before we head into season 4, and it's been quite funny. Look at the growth of a lot of our players. Not players like Fabian Delph, but Mendy from a 1 overall, 2 overall, up to a 26. Silva's at a 24, but then our actual players are growing amazingly. Zinchenko at a 32, which is obviously a very small. Look at that, 40 rated, 42 for Jesus. Some of these guys might become decent players before we're done with the series, with the video. So a decent squad here. Excited to see what we can do with it next season. We have started off season number 4, splashing the cash. We might have made what will go down as the most expensive defensive signing in world football history. We're breaking records here, baby. We have signed Rafael Varane from Real Madrid for £105 million. That is an astronomical figure. I was trying to think of the word there. But anyways, welcome to Man City, Rafael Varane. Only one deal in this window, but my god, was it a big one. £105 million spent for one player. Rafael Varane joins us here at Man City. Look at that team. If we don't win it this year, I will be surprised. I'll see you guys in January. Halfway through the season, well, just about halfway through the season, and we are definitely in the title race once again. Same story as last year though. We need to turn these draws into wins. We've only got one loss all season, but 6 draws is really going to hurt us at this point. We are 4 points off the pace. Man United are on 43 points. We're on 39. It's a bit of a distance between us and Southampton and Arsenal and Wolves and all them. Looking at the drop zone, Bournemouth, Palace and Villa all down there, but we need to focus on our end of the table. Let's see if we can eventually, hopefully this season, complete the challenge. But let's get into January. Same deal as last year. Don't like our chances of doing any business, but we'll soon find out. Yeah, nah, we did nothing at all. So I'll see you at the end of the season. Fingers crossed we complete the rebuild. Well, fellas, we have done it. Rebuild complete with Manchester City. We finished 4 points ahead of Man United, and we only had 1 loss all season, which was awesome. Just makes me stress the point even more. We would have won it so comfortably if we didn't draw so many damn games. Newcastle, Crystal Palace and Villa all go down to the championship, but that does not matter. But fellas, I did try something a little bit different today. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you didn't, don't worry, but if you did, let me know. Let's go and have a quick look at the rest of the tournaments. So we did manage to win the FA Cup as well, 1-0 over Tottenham, but unfortunately we lost in the round of 16 of the Carabao Cup to the eventual winners, Burnley. We made it to the quarterfinals of the Champions League, where we lost to the eventual runners-up, Chelsea. Real Madrid did go on to win that, and FC Cologne did beat Liverpool to win the Europa League. But anyways, fellas, that is where we will conclude today's rebuild. It's more of an experiment challenge rebuild than anything, but I hope you guys did enjoy it. We did manage to build ourselves an awesome side from where we started. But guys, if you did enjoy today's rebuild, make sure you leave a like on the video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below if you are new around here. But most importantly, I hope you have a fantastic day. It has been JarradHD here. I am out. Peace.